think for me, I've just had an experience where I've had someone walk into my house now and do a survey. And in the survey, when beginning, she said, "Are you all colored?" And I then explained to her that we are not colored. And she said someone else had said exactly the same thing earlier. Now, when we address the identity question, particularly with the colored people, I think we use the wrong approach. People like Ronald Dyer, for example, have been speaking, they have been talking about why isn't there a mutually agreed space where we can talk about identity? Why has identity got to be imposed? Just as we, as KhoiSan, are rejecting an imposition of identity. Now, I'm not sure whether we are using the right approaches. I'm not sure whether we are talking dialogically with colored people or whether we are rejecting them as a people. On a personal level, it seems we are very aggressive towards the colored people. We use derogatory terms, we use a negative attitude, we use a means of throwing people out of the equation. Yet yesterday, we were all colored as a people, not as a label, but as a people, and we coexisted quite well. Now suddenly we all KhoiSan and we adopting attitudes of superiority, that we are better than them, not as a label, but as a people. And I find this very problematic because it reflects an insecurity rather than a security of identity. Identity is something that no one gives you, no one can take from you, no one can rent it, borrow it, or bury it without your consent. We can claim our identity without standing on the backs of the colored people, without making the colored people feel less than us or ourselves more superior than them. It's problematic when people, due to insecurity or whatever else, now go to an extreme, and in their need to find their security, then become drunk with superiority. They need to impose a superiority. They need to project a superiority, and by the same definition, project inferiority on others. Now, I'm not sure how we're going to do this because it's really problematic, and for me, we're using the wrong approach. So far, I haven't seen dialogue with the colored people. I haven't seen a beneficial dialogue. I haven't seen a discussion of equals. What I see and hear is a discussion of inequality or unequals, where the colored person is down here and the KhoiSan person wants to stand up here and dictate to the colored person instead of raising them to an equal level and talking dialogically. Now, can we solve this problem? I think we can. Are we using the right way? I think we aren't. I think we also need to rethink what we want to do, how we want to do it, and how we sort of catch up to society in doing this. The concept of King Cornelius as well gives us another problem altogether, where we are strictly categorized and we now have Euro Khoi and Indo Khoi and Guni Khoi and Color Khoi and China Khoi, for example. And it's a complete buy-in to what would be the racist paradigm that we're all running away from. We're crying about racism, but we're practicing racism. We're crying about a stratified society, we're now practicing it. And we don't seem to want to really have honest dialogue around this. What we want to do, we want to take a position and defend it at all costs, without clear analysis, without us looking contextually and saying, what has the past done to all of us? What has the past done to those who are still locked in it? What is the past doing to us as far as awakening is concerned? Because we're not going to awaken as one people all at the same pace, but we're going to awaken differently. And those who happen to awaken first have no right to claim superiority on those who have not awakened, or else they're no different to those who are asleep. To waken someone means you waken them into a new world, a new understanding, a better place where we all are human, where we all are equal. And now we're getting into stratified positions where some are more equal than others. And this reminds me of George Orwell's book, Animal Farm, where some pigs are more equal than others. And I think we don't only have to move away from inequality, but we have to move away from being pigs.